What's going on, Herd? Welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in to another video. I recorded this video and the beginning was like, I don't know, it was all glitchy and blah, 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 so I had to delete it out and I'm just re-recording the beginning. Anyways, long story short, in this video, guys, we took the Savestra, the new vehicle, the new, what is it, the Mazda RX-3, the Datsun 1600, the Skyline C110, I don't know, whatever you call it. I mean, it can resemble so many different cars and GTA purposely did that. Realistically, this car was modeled after numerous cars. That's just the way it is. So anyways, we took it in our Does It Drift series previously. If you've not seen that video, go check it out. And in that video, we realized that this was a much better rally car than a drift car. So we needed to take it into our Does It Rally series as well. And this is where this thing shined, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you leave a like down there if you do enjoy the content. And let's get to the content, guys. So we're pulling out in here.
What miracle did you want me to
We got to do that first. So brakes and armor. I mean, brakes are something that I'm just not gonna do it in this one to save myself the 35,000. I'm getting really low in money, and I know there's more cars that come in this drip feed. I just don't want to do it. Front bumper again. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it basic. Chassis, engine. We already did the engine. Exhaust. Let's just leave the exhaust alone too, for that sake. I'm gonna keep it the wide body too. I like that look. The grille. I should have done that. Should have done the primary grille from the beginning. So, oh, don't do that. Do that. We'll keep the turbos. Turbos look pretty cool. Definitely, you can tell it's a rally build due to the liveries. Since I think I'm gonna throw this on there. I like this out of all the other liveries. And Olympian Rentals. That's what we're gonna go with. That's who's sponsoring us in today's race. All right. Mirrors. We went with no mirrors already. Plate. We went with that. Went with that plate right there. Respray, we're going to keep it the black, I'm pretty sure. I like the look of how it is right now. These spoilers are just so dang expensive, but it's going to give us that little bit of extra traction that we need for this series, though. So we're going to do that. Looks like this one is going to be the cheapest, and it's going to add in the same amount of, it's going to add in the same amount of traction as all the other ones, so we'll do that. Suspension, we want all the clearance we can get, so we're going to go back to the stock. Transmission and turbo, we already did. Wheels, I think I'm going to switch to tuner because they are substantially or more grippier. Well, not substantially, but you know what I mean. They are noticeably more grippier than the counterpart of the muscle there. So let's go with these beasts. Those are very rally-like, right? I'm going to go with those. I got to do a roll cage in here too because it's the rally build. So we got to do the roll cage. That should do it for this build. This car has really killed my bank account today, but I really like the look of this beast. I really wish. I mean, the sports classics class is really growing. I think it really is. Speaking of that, let's start up the track and let's look at what else is in the sports classics class. Bam! Zing! That car's pretty small. Look at how small. I look like a big guy in there. That's one thing I hope they add in the GTA 6. Hashtag fat and muscular. All right, that's what we need right there. We're gonna hit this turbo right here. Bam! Alright, we're not going to start with free. We're going to start in third person like normal here. Pretty touchy on the steering, a lot like the Sentinel. Gotta remember this is a rear-wheel drive car too. Now, one thing I noticed in the drifting was that the turning was not the greatest, but I'm not really noticing out here on the dirt. Pretty nice handling out here on the dirt. I'm a big fan of it so far. Not quite as speedy as I would like it to be, but again. Ooh, we took out that sign. Gotta do it. Oh, it does drift after all, huh? Zang! Over the bump. Whoa. It's leaving one vehicle that I'm really curious for in the drifting series, and that's the Datsun. I should have said that in the last episode there, but that's the one I'm really interested in for the drifting. I think that might, I don't know, I'm not going to say anything, but That's our one hope, really. Oh, So the really high speeds, the turning is not very responsive in this car. It's a very short steering radius at high speeds. But at this mid-range speed is where it's doing pretty good on the rally track. And the steering's pretty good in that sense too. Really slow though going in these uphill sections off-road. Really slow. I was gonna look at what other vehicles were in the Sports Classic and I didn't even do it. Damn it. We gotta look at that. We'll go to a second track, bring it to a little bit different of a layout. There's a minor tip factor, but it's not very bad reality-wise. I thought it was gonna be pretty bad in the end of the Does It Drift episode when I went over the little curb there. It was not noticing it nearly as much out here in the dirt. Seems to be pretty centered. Even the jumping seems to be pretty centered from front to back as well. So you got the Savestra, the Z-Type. That's a Sports Classic. Alright, now we're getting carried away. That looks nice. Oh, the retinue is in there, that's right. Car's beautiful as well. There's a lot of cars I'd like to buy in this game. I just can't buy them just for the sense of owning them, though. It's another one, beautiful car. So this one has a lot of really stacked cars in it. This is not really the style of car that's in it. It's more of the supercar of the past, which really kind of ruins it for the Rally Racing Championship Series. We'd like to really focus on variety and making things your choice, you know? Not everybody has to be locked in on the same dang vehicle, but when you have only two choices of like the retinue and this, guess what? Nope, we're in the fence. I always seem to do that one. So we are out on the Grapeseed Classic course. This seems to be a lot of people's favorite course. It is a lot of fun. It definitely is a lot of fun. Going over the bridge here. This is a really dirty spot. We got away pretty clean. A lot of good handling here. Oh, I really slowed down there. That was unintentional. Slowing down for this jump a lot now. Ugh. As much as you'd think you'd be able to use that for a berm, it's more of just like a really bad bottom out. I'd say the steering is the one thing that this car is it's slacking on. When you get up past a certain speed, on the asphalt, the steering it's not quite there on the sharpness. Steering radius. This one will be one of those tests right here. We're going to have to really whip it around. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. Oh, man. Man, we're not doing good on this one at all, are we? It's all right. Let's try to get a better lap this second time around. Oh, it's only one lap? All right. Well, whatever. That's okay. We'll go into free mode and we'll give this thing a grade. I wanted to get a good lap on that, dang it. God, that does not sound healthy, whatever that sound is when you start this thing up. Handling, controllability, speed, and cost. Those are the three things. So handling and controllability, I guess the same dang thing, interchangeable terms. This thing is pretty good in that. Handling, controllability, I guess you'd put steering in with that, and that's the place where it's kind of a little bit, I mean, it's not bad. It's really not bad. You definitely could get used to it, and if you can figure out how to incorporate that handbrake in there to really get you the turns that you want, you can definitely do it. Other than that, the tippiness factor is pretty much out of it. I got my suspension all the way up. I got tuner wheels on there. So this would be, you know, if this car could go into the EMRA Rally Racing Championship due to class, this would be built to that specification for sure. Oh, we saved it. The whole thing that I would guess what I would say is, yeah, the big... Oh, we're going to go for it. It didn't happen. The whole big thing that I would really, like I said, the real thing that you want to focus on is that is the steering and getting that steering down if you're going to go into this car and try to use it as a rally car for your own use. Aside from that, that's pretty much the extent of it. So I think I'm going to give it an 8.5 for handling. It's pretty dang good for handling. I like the handling on it. Even the spin out factor for being a rear wheel drive car. It is rear wheel drive, right? Yes, it is rear wheel drive. So the handling for being a rear... Whoa! Just the handling for being a rear-wheel drive car is pretty good. It definitely is. It doesn't have some of the spin-out. Even the Sentinel has a bit more of a spin-out factor than this thing does. So props up to it to that. 8.5. I'll actually give it a 9. You know what? I'm going to give it a 9 for handling. Because the place where it's going to take a little bit more is in the speed. Now, the speed is what comes next. Speed. Now, it's not bad, but when you're going uphill on dirt, it really doesn't have much for acceleration. You pretty much just hold your speed. In some vehicles, it's not like that on that other race. So you're going to get kind of left behind on that. Now, asphalt, it seems to be, one of the more speedy vehicles that would be. Again, we're in the Sports Classic class, and it's hard to judge because, as I said earlier, the Sports Classic class, it's got like the Diablo and the Countach and the Testarossa. Is that what the other one is in there? I can't remember what some of those other vehicles are, but extremely expensive and like definitely supercars of the past. And this is not a supercar of the past. It's just not really a rally-worthy class by any means. Speed itself, I am going to give it a 7.5. I think it could be substantially better for the amount of money that you're putting into it, but that's the next aspect. But just the reality of keeping that in mind for the speed, yeah, and then keeping in mind the rest of what's in the class, absolutely. That's a 7.5 for this beast. So 7.5 for speed, that's going to bring us into cost. Now, this thing is overpriced by, I would say, at least $300,000. It should be in that $650,000 range. There's no reason to have it as $1 million. That's crazy. Again, I guess it fits the Sports Classic class. All of them are very, very expensive vehicles, even like the Z-Type. I don't know. They're just all expensive vehicles, so maybe they're trying to fit that bill. Anyways, for rally racing, not really, I don't know. If you like this car, then yeah, it might be worth it. But like I said, I think it's overpriced by about $300K, so I'm going to hit it by just a couple points. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So that's a 9, a 7.5, and an 8. 24.5 if my calculations are correct on that, which is pretty dang good. 24.5 out of 30. I can't remember off the top of my head what the other ones are scoring, but that's a pretty dang good score for Desert Rally. So yeah, maybe you guys do want to go pick this thing up. Like I said, it is not going to be for EMRA Rally Racing Series, as well, unfortunately, it just doesn't fit the bill for class. I wish they would have put it in the sports classes. It kind of fits even more, but whatever. That's Rockstar. That's how they do it, and you're never going to really talk any sense into them, right? Anyways, I appreciate all you guys tuning in, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing the videos if you're sharing the videos. If you're not sharing the videos, please start sharing the videos, because that is ultimately what helps this channel grow. And one of many things I should say, but it is a big thing for sure. And growth is one of those ultimate things that will help me get more time to start posting more things for you guys. So, as always, I hope you all stay happy, stay positive, and we will definitely speak to you next time.